Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Bobo Strength and Fitness Podcast, episode number 2. Today we're going to be talking about some things getting into a cut, and I got my roommates with me, so we're all going to chip in. If you're not yet, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you get notified when I put new videos up. And tell your friends about it, like, share the video, and enjoy. Alright, so let's hop into things here. We got a little list. So
you should be drunk next
we
time.
should be drunk, yeah. But that's one of the topics is weighing back on the drinking, right?
No, yeah.
So we are starting to cut, except for Dan. Dan's not really cutting.
Whole life's been a cut.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've been pretty successful in cutting before. Like last year for spring break, I did an okay job. But right now, I feel like I've been struggling. I don't know, Blossom, how you been feeling?
Last year before spring break was really good for me too. I didn't make as much progress as I wanted to, but noticeable progress. And then last semester was probably the most successful I've been. I was losing consistently a pound and a half every single week. And this semester I haven't been able to get anything to move.
Yeah, pound and a half is a pretty good goal. And I think what has been going on with you is that you've been building muscle pretty consistently, or at least maintaining it, and like flipping your body composition. At least, hopefully, that's what's going on.
Which is, if it is, I'm happy about that.
And recently, you've seen some weight go down, like within the last week, right? After our refeed.
Yeah, I was down 2 pounds yesterday, I think is what it was.
I feel like with you, man, your strength has gone up so fast that I don't know how much really the glycogen in the water changes your weight, but if you're not seeing a difference in that, in like on the scale, and you're wanting it to go down, but you're getting so much stronger, I could really see that having a significant effect. Like you're storing more fuel for your muscles so that you can work out harder, and you're lifting heavy weight. So.
Well, it's been a big thing that I've told Drew several times is that I feel much leaner, even though I haven't really seen the number move. I feel as if like I can notice parts where fat is like trimming down and it is becoming more lean, and I have been able to lift pretty heavy, so I definitely think it's moving in the right direction, even if it's not showing up on the scale.
And I feel like a lot of people put too much importance on the scale, like the mental effects of working out is so big, and like if you feel better, you think you look better, it's working.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times the scale isn't the only factor you should look at. It helps keep you on track, but not all the time. And you've been exploding, like strength-wise.
What is your strength gains in the last like year?
Well, so when I first started in the last year, I'd have to think, but when I first started lifting, I came out explosive and I hit 365 deadlift max, almost 300 squat max, and then 185 bench max.
That was like untrained?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's just natural.
That was pretty much untrained. And
that's
then,
corn-fed.
That's corn-fed marching band, bro.
And then after that, I lost quite a bit of it, but as of this last semester, I went from like benching 135 to now I think I could probably hit 185 again. And then squat, I think I struggled at 225 the first day I got back to it, and I squatted at 245 today.
I think you could do 275 pretty easily.
Yeah, because I was doing I did 3 sets of 4 or 3 sets of 3, I think.
With some of the tank too on the end
today.
of it, right?
Yeah. And then deadlift has been a little different because today I went without straps. But with straps, I think I could do 315.
Did you do overhand or alternate?
I did overhand grip. And then I was doing 275, I think.
If I didn't alternate, man, I would be very limited by the kind of reps that I could do with weight. Double overhand, I mean, you should be training your grip to be strong.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be a crutch that you have to like have straps or have to switch hands and things like that. But I know for me, it'd be prying my fingers down with much more than 300 pounds.
I usually do struggle with my grip, but my third set today it was 275, and I was doing sets of 4, but my third set felt great. I didn't feel like it felt light on my third set.
Good.
So I usually struggle with my grip, but I've really tried to focus on it the last couple of times, and now that I think about it a little bit better, it's gotten better.
And I think the grip just comes a lot just with just years of training. Like your grip's gonna just get stronger. So 5 years from now when you do it, grip's gonna be stronger and it's not gonna be such a big problem. Because I even struggle with that. My grip is so weak, and I just don't have that. But you have a guy, you've been training really consistent. You've been training really consistent. Your grip's just gonna be stronger. So then you'll move the weight. So that's why I like the straps. Because if you can use the straps and you're gonna get a lot more on there, then use it. Because you're gonna be able to move more weight. You're going to put on more strength.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal unless you're trying to be an Olympic weightlifter.
Exactly.
Where the only time you can only do the overhand grip. That's about the only time you really, I think, you need to focus on that.
To Dan's point, though, you don't want to rely on the straps too much. Like, if you want to go heavy in terms of hitting your legs, your lower back, and your lats and that stuff, then go ahead and use straps. But I think, like you're saying, in order for your grip strength to get better, you have to train that way too.
Right, yeah.
I think maybe it was you, Webb, that said something about it, and you kind of changed my mind a little bit about it as well, where I thought, I'm going to not use straps almost ever just because I'm I want to be able to work out anytime, not need them. I forget them. I have a shitty workout or something, So, but you told me, I think you told me, somebody was it depends on your goals, really, because if you're just wanting to look better and get stronger, train with whatever lets you move the best weight. If your hands are your weak point, use the straps, and then you can grow your back more or your legs more. It's
I think that's true, but I think grip strength in general, just for daily tasks, is great to have.
That's true.
I think you should train it on maybe your bicep days or back days, whatever your plan is set up for, whatever it fits in best.
That's true.
I think my grip has improved a lot too, because I realized that how heavy I was setting it in my fingers, and I wasn't really getting a good hold on it in the deep in the palm. But I've been trying to do that more, and when I do that, and I really just fight through the pinch of the skin. If I just really don't even think about it and just push through it, it's much easier than what I was. I was gripping a lot with my fingers before.
Yeah.
How are the calluses looking? Are they coming in good?
They're coming in. They'll be ready for golf season. They'll already be there.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the lady lovers. They love that. They love a guy with good calluses.
Webby, you're saying that you got in really good shape for spring break last year, and I think you've been one of the people that I'm damn, you can fluctuate your weight quick when you want to. It's if you are really focused, it seems like you trim down right on plan, and then it seems you let yourself go for just a month or two. You stop tracking calories or something it's I gained a couple of pounds, but then it seemed like you were always able to get right back on it. So yeah. I don't know. I think that you're just one of the most focused person that I know, or focused people that I know whenever it comes to weighing your food and stuff.
I was gonna say, I feel that's a testament to how dedicated to it he is, because he weighs things down to the gram and the ounce, and and then he tracks his workouts and shit.
Would you say that
takes a lot of time?
Would you say that makes a big difference in when you've been successful versus not successful?
I think consistency and dedication to the plan is a recipe for success, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to overkill. You have to have those days, those refeed weeks or cheat meals every once in a while, just so you can actually enjoy what you're doing. But also at the same time, I think there's a lot behind enjoying the process. I enjoy keeping track of my workouts. I like getting stronger, hitting PRs in terms of reps, and I like the process of weighing my food is almost an addiction to me now.
Really?
I feel bad if I don't weigh it or log it.
I feel imagine trying to convince somebody that has never weighed their food before to start doing that every meal.
So what would you recommend to someone that is kind of never counted calories, kind of like I was. I never counted calories, never done know anything, to say you have the MyFitnessPal app that's really useful, and you showed me a couple really good things to use on that. But what's kind of some quick tips that you would say for someone to get into it, just to focus on?
Focusing on it, I think if they have a trainer or just watching YouTube videos, they have to understand that diet and calories in versus calories out is how you gain or lose weight. So if you eat more calories than you're expanding, then you're going to gain the weight. And if you eat less calories than you're expending, you're going to lose the weight. So that's the first thing they need to know. And then the next step after that is knowing how many calories you eat in a day. And it doesn't have to be super accurate if you're just starting out, because even small gains are going to help and they'll be noticeable. But then once they understand those 2 points, I think giving them tools like MyFitnessPal and saying if you buy a weight scale to make it so much more accurate, it'll just lead them into kind of focusing more on being super accurate with their logs.
I think for me, like, it's like I don't track my food 100% every day, but it makes, when I want to get in the habit of it, I'll do it for like a week straight or something, and then it makes me really aware and I'm really conscious of it. And I think like it works for me in that sense because then I think about it all the time, but I also want to lose weight and I know what it takes to lose weight. So like I think that's been the weirdest thing that I've seen a lot of people's is like they say that they want to lose weight, but then like you go to talk about like calorie deficits and it's like, okay, well, I still want to eat as much as I do. And then, okay, well, if you want to eat as much as you need, then you need to be more active. You need to be going on runs. You need to be burning those calories off. Because like you said, it's just in and out. You just have to be in that deficit. And then people are like, well, I don't want to work out either. Well, then, okay, then you can do that, but you don't expect to see any results. It's like, it's a math equation. And if you don't consciously want to make that math equation better, then there's nothing you can do.
Well, you were saying it's like cash flow.
Yeah,
essentially.
That's a good analogy, I think.
Yeah,
it's like it's making a savings. Like, how do you become more wealthy? Spend less than you make.
Yeah,
it's super simple when you say it, but it's the application that's tough.
Yeah,
well, it's definitely not easy. Like I don't say that to mean that it's easy because it's not. But
conceptually it is.
Yeah, exactly. You have to want to do it, and if you say you want to do it, but then you don't put in the effort, well, then maybe you only need to look at that a little further, and maybe you don't want to do it that bad, which is another conversation to have. But
yeah,
like it has to add up at the end of the day,
right?
And people try to find ways around that. It's just not going to work.
When you were talking about people kind of changing their behavior and eating less, I think you're like a step ahead of some people because they think they can't eat what they want anymore whenever they start. They're like, I'm starting a diet. I can't eat Sonic anymore. I can't have dessert anymore. It's like they draw those like hard lines, but it takes some experience to realize like you can still eat those foods that you want to. It's just the moderation thing.
That was the other thing I was gonna say that I forgot is like Drew said, he's like he even implements cheat days into his system because like, but to me it's just like, I mean, so obviously you want to try and eat well still, but you can like I still find ways to fit junk food into my diet. Like there'll be days where I eat pizza or I'll eat cheeseburgers and French fries. Like you literally just have to think about your calories. Okay, if I'm gonna eat a little bit more for dinner and I know that, then I don't eat quite a big of lunch, or maybe I skip breakfast that day. Like there's ways to do it. You just have to be conscious of what you're eating.
And you think you need it because it's the best plan is whatever you're going to be consistent on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's stupid to put yourself in a super hard, rigid plan and draw those hard lines, and then you only do it for 2 weeks, and then you get off of it for 2 months. So if you can say, hey, I'm going to have one day where I do have my little chicken nuggies or my 2 Kush Lights, throw them in there.
Yeah.
Throw them in there, but build that into your plan. And that's where you kind of need your trainer or someone to kind of help guide you.
Yeah.
In that, because like I know me, I said I didn't know anything about it. The most thing I heard was eat some protein, eat some veggies.
Yeah.
That's about it. So
I think the relationship with people who are looking to like lose weight have a kind of a morphed relationship with trainers sometimes because their goals shouldn't be lose the 15 pounds. I think it should be more along the lines of finding a healthier lifestyle that they can have for years and years, maintain a healthy weight, maintain like a physical active lifestyle that is sustainable. So a lot of people have that short-term goal, which is like the number that they want to lose or getting in shape for spring break or something. But
well, everything these days is so instant. They made a whole TV show called The Biggest Loser about instantaneous weight loss.
Yeah.
And I would assume the majority of the time they lost so much weight in such a short period of time.
Like 150 pounds or something.
Yeah,
crazy.
They're likely just going to gain all that back because they go back to the lifestyle that we're living before. And they just did it for a few months and it helped, but it didn't help them maintain that healthy lifestyle.
I'm curious how many of them gained it right back because I bet you it's like 75% of them did not maintain, because they go through this insane amount of extreme low calorie diets and crazy amounts of activity for like 1 month or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
They can't sustain that.
Yeah, no way.
So would you recommend someone that's, looking into getting to cut or wants to lose weight is maybe just increase activity level first and kind of be cognizant of what they're eating and kind of a day and kind of have a general idea, bump that up, and if you're seeing progress and you see the number going down the scale, great, and then keep that? Or do you think maybe try to do a little bit kind of both, or is that too much?
I think in a perfect world you would do both, but at the same time it depends on the client. If your client is eating super healthy foods, they're just eating too much of it and they need a little bit of physical exertion to level things out, then yeah, you just implement the physical activity. But I mean, people could do physical activity and go to fast food restaurants twice a day or 4 times a week or whatever, and they're not seeing any progress because their diet is shit. You know? So I think it just depends.
I'd be interested if you could maybe try this out with somebody that you work with sometime, but I heard a strategy that some people, for the first week that they are training somebody, they don't tell them to change anything about their diet at all. They say log it all. Let's see for 1 week what you're already doing, just to see where you've so you can compare what we do later on to what you've been doing. If they find out, I've been eating 4,500 calories a day for the last month, and then I didn't realize I was that far over. It's
I think that could be a good strategy for people too who think that they have to cut insane amount of foods out of their diet too. Like if somebody were to start tracking, they could either have that realization and say, holy cow, well, I thought I wasn't eating anything, but because of what I was eating a lot in calories. Or vice versa, is you say, oh, well, we only need to cut 500 calories out of your diet, and we add a little activity, you could be on a whole different path. It could be a big realization point for someone who has absolutely zero idea where they are.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is because everybody thinks they, or likes to think they know a lot, and it's it is simple, but there is a lot of factors that actually go into doing this. I mean, I can already see in kind of me trying to do this cut. It's I've been tracking more, doing a lot of stuff, and it's going well, but it's not instantaneous, and that is kind of tough when you look at the number and you go, oh man, I did really good for the 5 out of 7 days, and then the 2 days that you go a little over, it ruins it.
Yeah.
And so, but you just have to stay consistent and kind of keep grinding and find that happy medium. Not even in a diet or cut, just in your life too. I think that's really important. Because that's what you gotta. That's what's gonna get you through it. But how long should someone stay on a cut? Because I don't. What's the answer for that? I've heard a couple different things. What's your guys' thoughts?
I would say you got to monitor your progress, and you can be doing something as long as it's working.
Yep. If you hit a plateau, there are strategies to get out of that plateau. Some people say you just cut your calories a little bit more, but you can't do that forever.
Right.
There's a certain point. Stop the cut. Which is why the last video I made for fitness was about refeeds, and that's the strategy that I think conceptually for me works, or is gonna work great. You have a week or two where you go back to a maintenance diet of caloric intake, and so you're not gaining any weight, but you get that feeling of, oh, I'm eating more, I'm not cutting anymore, and then after you're done with that, you go back to cutting the calories to lose a pound and a half a week, and your metabolism is shocked again. You get back to cutting weight. So I think that is going to really help us through this program that we just set up. We've only had one refeed week so far, but I mean, for me anyway, it felt like I was eating a lot, and I know you were saying that too.
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't even eat my maintenance calories. I'd been dieting for probably 4 weeks before that, and Andrew told me how many calories I had for maintenance, and I was not even close every day. I would eat till I was completely full, but I'm interested to see where it could take me weight loss wise. But during that time, my lifts felt incredible. I felt really strong going into the gym every single day.
But implementing those weeks should, in theory, break those plateaus and help you to keep losing weight over the long term.
I gotcha.
Something I feel like is maybe not talked about enough is like what to do also once you reach your goal. So it's like you said, like how long can you keep cutting? It's like, well, until you reach your goal, and then that depends on maybe what your goal is. Like if you're an athlete, you don't want to keep cutting until you lose strength or you lose some of the size that's necessary for you to be good at what you're doing. And if you want to be strong, you don't want to go all the way down into some super low body percentage or body fat percentage where you start losing some of your strength, your muscle, and because that's going to happen if you keep dieting. If you stay in a deficit, you're going to inevitably burn a little bit of muscle. And then there's like reverse dieting, which is what you do whenever you've reached your goal and you're adding back in those calories to find your new maintenance number, you know, because it's gone down since you were bigger. So that's something like I feel like doesn't get talked about a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, especially now, I think with all the Instagram fitness models, I mean, now the idea is just this super, not unobtainable image, but for many people, it is.
Oh,
I mean, you see these guys just, I mean, it's like God, it's like Greek gods and just walking out there, and women that will look better than me when I'm, even if I dieted and cut and trained like a freaking superhuman. Might need to cut that out. People might get offended. I said women.
Most women look better than
most women look, yeah. But anyways, yeah, I think that's just really tough because you're seeing these images and people talking about it, and it puts almost like not a, you know, you gotta. I like to kind of think like at checkpoints, like where you want to be, like here, kind of like with a say goal setting, like this week let me get something done, then check it off, and say in 4 weeks this is what I want to do, and check that off. And it's like when you go from point A, you're going from to Z. I think that makes like the road so much harder. And with social media, yeah, that's a very, I don't even know what I was trying to say. What were you saying?
We were talking about how social media icons are icons. They're idols actually people look up to. Like
but once you reach your goal, yeah. So like, what do you? It's like if that's the goal, you know. I think that's a.
I think for me, like the biggest thing is I look at people like that for like motivation in a sense. Like I don't. Like, I know I'm not going to be lifting the weight that Andrew is because he has 3-4 years of training on me, but his dedication to going to the gym every day is what motivates me to go to the gym every day to improve myself. Because, like, you can't, it's unrealistic to just, like, put myself in Andrew's shoes. I didn't do the work that he did over the last 4 years. Like, I can't just take his result and without any of the work. It's just not, it's not how you do it. So, like, if you can get yourself in the mindset of, like, I like the way that they look, I want to look more like that, well, then you have to realize what they do every day to get there, and you have to, like, be inspired by that and not jealous of it in a way that, like, it fuels your flame in the right way and not, like, dampens you down, like, and pushes you out of it entirely. Because I think, too, like, people like that would love to see more people like working out every day and pushing to make their body appearance better to themselves. Like they don't want to be the only people up there. Like they just put in the work to get there.
Right. No, I finally got to my point. Yeah. So when you start, like, because we're talking about like going through a cut or what, going through a cut.
Yeah, we're just talking about going through a cut.
Yeah, starting a cut is when you're going, like, if you're in 6 months in, it could be 3 to 5 years till you actually get that. That's what I was saying. So, like, when you're going, it's like you see these, in 6 months, get ready for the summer. You know, all these things that it's like you see the transformations where they go from, it's like, oh, they were sitting on the couch to 6 packs and bulging biceps and backs and traps just all out there. It's like, that's not.
They're unrealistic goals.
That's unrealistic, and that's what I was getting to, is when you're starting that. I think that's really, even though you see it, and like you're saying, it's like not realistic, and you can even rationalize it, but that it is kind of tough when you look and you go, oh, well, I've been doing this for 6 months and I don't look like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of something too, that you kind of have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, if you want to look like that, it's going to take 2 or 3 years of dedicated training and long hard work, and you have to be really, really motivated, and it's gonna be tough, but you'll get to the light at the end of the tunnel each day. You just keep working.
When you start talking about social media, there's so many layers that go into the amount of like deceit and sort of
filters and all shit.
So I was scrolling. I don't have a whole lot of fitness stuff on my Instagram as much as I used to, but I saw one that was like his progress pictures for an 8-week cut that he was doing. And the first one, he's pretty pudgy, but then second picture, you're seeing some of his abs, and then he gets all the way down to like probably 8% body fat in the last picture. And I was like, first of all, I know in the first photo there, that dude's been training for years because his underlying muscle was already there. He had just done a bulk probably and was getting cut down for like a show or something. And it's like, people might see that and think, I could look that in 8 weeks. It's like, no, that dude's been working out for 16 years. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. A guy who's probably trying to sell you a program or something. And he's going to post something that's like, oh, can you do with me what you did with that guy? And no. It'll take you a long time.
Yeah. Social media is all about selling yourself to other people. So they make themselves look as good as they can to appeal to their customers, basically. And I wanted to make a point.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yeah. I got a couple accounts if you want to follow me. I wanted to make a point about keeping your mentality going, like you were kind of on the track of. The best way to stay motivated is to compete against yourself. You have to better yourself the next day. And if you're comparing yourself to someone who's been training for 16 years on Instagram and they got cut abs and huge pecs, all that's going to do is put yourself down.
Yeah.
So
That's what frustrates me when I hear people talk about it sometimes is like, it's like you have to have that conversation with yourself about how bad you want it. And it's definitely not easy. You can listen, you can talk to anyone that's ever done it before. Like, it's not easy at all. But if you have a day, or if you come to a day where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, maybe you're not, maybe you don't want to do it. Maybe, and that's fair. But you can't just immediately blame it on the fact that, like, it's unachievable or that, like, these guys did it really easy and I didn't. No, like, I mean, do you really know that they did it that easy, or is it easy just to say that as an excuse to want to stop? Because if you don't want it, you have to be able to tell yourself that. Like, you have to want to go. You have to want to fight through it, because otherwise you're never going to get there. It's plain and simple. It's through years and years of evidence that you can't just, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to want to do it. You have to, or else it's never going to happen.
how's the cup been going for you?
Oh, I would say January was really good. I would say it probably went from like 193 to the average probably 185. Now my average is staying for February, or through February is probably like 183. Got to a low of like 181, but probably had a couple past 2 weekends that doesn't help. But the thing is, it's like, even though it's like, all right, if I would have done maybe the past 2 weeks really didn't go out on the weekends or whatever, maybe I see a 7 on the scale and I'm 179. Okay, that would be great, but I think I'm in a good place right now where I say, all right, I kind of got got the ball rolling. Now I saw a little, it's still going down, but not as quick as it was. But I feel pretty good I feel like I'm in a good spot. So I like to get to 175.
Yeah.
So I think, what is that, March? So another 8. So yeah, so maybe around mid-April, end of April, that's kind of my goal.
Yeah.
Is kind of see that, and that's pretty obtainable. 1 pound a week. Keep the strength, get a little bit more strength, that would even be great. But I'll say my big thing that I'm struggling on, which I always struggled on, is sleep. Because sleep is just so important. I mean, all the studies you see, people, you can train your ass off, do everything right, but if you only get below, they said, like the 8 or 7 hours, you're killing your muscle gain, and you're going to retain more fat. Your strength's going to go down. You're just not going to feel as good, and that's where I've struggled with just history. I don't get enough sleep. Go to bed late, wake up bad times, and go hit the snooze 20 times.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm going to really try here for March, is try to get 7 to 8 hours consistently, and get at a good time. Like, even if I go to bed at 1, it's like, all right, well, shut down, phone away, boom. you just got to do it. Just got to put yourself to bed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my goal. And if I get below 180, I'll be really happy. But honestly, if I stayed at 180, I think I will, because I'm going to stay at my or what's our new one, 2100.
Yeah.
20. Yeah, I'll stay at that. And then if it stays same, if it goes down, great. But if I get the sleep and everything, I think I'll see it. I'll be really happy.
Sleep is underrated for sure. Yeah.
I want to say two things. The first one I wanted to say earlier, and I kind of forgot about, and it's that whenever you're trying to make these changes and you're trying to lose weight or whatever, or whatever your goal is, in the cheat days, they go into this because you have to also have fun with your life. Like your diet can't be preventing you from, like, if you're never going out, you're never seeing people, you're never getting to enjoy a meal that is like, oh, it's the Super Bowl, it's like, yeah, you can't go and say in Buck Wild eat the whole cake or whatever, but it's like you're gonna want to take advantage of some of those situations, and if you're always saying no, then it's not worth it in my opinion, because it's like
that goes back to your sustainability argument.
Yeah, true.
And that's the thing. I think the cut it is working, because even with we had the Super Bowl weekend, had my buddies' birthday bash, and then what was this past weekend? What did we do?
A little casino or something.
Little casino action, yeah. Just I think that was just just do something just to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, even through that, it's still I think dropped a little bit or maintained. So even when you do, if you kind of even just do one, it's not gonna I think it's not gonna ruin it. Like
it's a refeed week.
Yeah, exactly. It's a refeed weekend. It's a
Cheat
refeed.
week.
Yeah,
Cheat month.
yeah. So I think I've gamed to a good place, because I get super hot and cold with it. So I think you find that good medium. It's like, all right, it's like, I did it. All right, now I'll get back on the horse.
Yeah.
You can't get off the horse and then go take a lap around the track and then, go sit in the pool and get your feet rubbed.
But it could be. Oh, I don't know if I followed that.
I followed
it. Yeah, it's like go jump in the pool and then you get the dominoes, get to the door. Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's the Also, yeah, I gave myself a pat on the back. I got back on the horse each time after the weekend.
It's still really important to find like things you can do on the weekends or things you can do on Thursday night or whatever, other than have a ton to drink, have a ton to eat. It's like make those things more special so you can enjoy them when you do them, but not maybe do them every single week or every weekend or whatever it is.
So what do we got next up on the? Well, I guess we're kind of getting into the drinking, and
I can't remember what the other thing was.
Let's see. Wow, we've actually covered a lot.
Oh, sleep.
Oh yeah, I did want to talk about sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah.
A big thing with that is cortisol, man. It's your stress hormone. So whenever that's high, so exercise makes it go up. Anything that's like fight or flight, like anxiety, makes it go up. All these things. And sleep is a big time for your body to recover. It's when you build muscle. It's when that stress hormone goes down. So if you're not sleeping, you're not building muscle, and you're not recovering. You're not going to get stronger, and you're not going to be able to ever get out of this like fight or flight state. You're going to always be on the verge. Your body's just, it's never relaxed. So sleep is huge for almost any goals. Like cognitive ability goes down, but your physical ability, everything. So
big time. For me, I mean, in high school, you have to get up so early, or at least I did. I never really got much sleep. I would stay up till like 11 or 12 and then get up at 5:30 or 6. But for me to feel sharp and good every day, I need like at least 8.5 hours. If I get just 8, I'll feel a little bit groggy.
damn.
But if I have a night of like 5 hours of sleep, I'm good for like the morning, and then I really just get sluggish and I hit that wall. What are your guys' like prime sleep numbers? Because everyone's kind of different, and at least in terms of how they feel mentally.
For me, I actually feel like I do better with less sleep. And people are shocked when they hear that, but like if I go a night where I sleep like 8 hours, I struggle to get up the next day. But if I go to bed at like 1 and I get up at like, if I say I were to have to get up early for something at like 6 or something like that to study or whatever it may be, those are the days where I am like the most alert and most like focused. I have no idea why. I don't understand it. It's probably not sustainable is probably the main issue, but I don't I don't ever feel. There's been a couple days where I don't sleep enough, and then like at the next day at the gym, I feel a little groggy. But most of the time, my body, it just says, this is when you're going to bed, this is when you're getting up, and whatever it was that I slept that night is like what works for me. Like I don't really have like a set number where I'm like, oh I just feel well rested and just completely restored after that.
And you're different for that.
You're built so different.
And that came from a guy who also caffeine does not affect him at all. Pre-workout doesn't itch.
Yeah.
Beers slugs him.
Outlier.
But what about you guys?
Yeah, we gotta throw him out of
Yeah, you're ruining our sample size.
I'm a person who I like to stay up late. I like to do my work when I'm like the only one up. Probably just have a bunch of FOMO whenever everybody's doing stuff. I'm like, oh, I could be hanging out
too.
And like as soon as everyone's in bed, I've got nothing else to distract me. So maybe I should take Adderall or something, and then I'll like not care and I'll just focus on the stuff I'm doing. But
Start
I
chilling.
would say I need 7 hours. If I have 7.5 or 8 hours, I'm good. If I sleep on my own, like on a weekend, no alarm, I can go like 9 hours for sure. But then I don't even know if that's better for me. I probably feel more tired by the middle of the day if I sleep that long. And then there's a middle range where if like I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna be in a shitty mood. I'll have no energy. I'll just be wanting to fall asleep in class. But if for some reason I was really messed up and somehow I got 5 hours of sleep, like that feels better than the 6.5 sort of range.
Isn't there something about sleep cycles where if you sleep a wonky amount of time, you wake up in REM sleep and your whole day is
You could start
gone?
It's like your cycle takes like 2.5, 3 hours or something like that. I think everybody's a little different, and I think most people, you get like 3 cycles of REM sleep throughout the night. I think those are the numbers. And then if you have like, you've gone through 2 cycles, which is why like people wake up at like 1 a.m. or 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. or whatever sometimes, because that's like in the middle of your phases. If you start that 3rd phase and then wake up in the middle of it, then for some reason your body like wants to keep sleeping at that
Well, maybe you have like a 2.5 hour REM cycle then, where you're like your 5 hours is you feel good. But because I'm kind of the same way too. That's part of what I mean. That's part of what I mean. Like sometimes if I sleep like 7 hours or 8 hours, I feel like so tired all day the next day. But then like if I sleep like 4 or 5 hours, then I feel like awake and alert. And maybe it's just, I don't know. I really don't. My sleep is something I've never really like analyzed and thought about, but I tend to do better when I sleep less, I feel like.
Yeah, I think the best thing for me would be if I actually went to bed at a good time, and then I have this like internal clock where I'll wake up at the right time, but I need to go to bed early for that to happen at the right time. So if I went to bed at 12 o'clock or it's a little sooner, I'd be waking up on my own at 7, and then I'd be great. I'd be great. I would be set for the day, and I would wake up so easily because it wouldn't have to be my alarm. I would just, time to go. That would be ideal.
That's how I am if I don't have a comfy bed and my door locked. Like when I'm sleeping at home in my parents' house, I'll get up on the dot 8 a.m.
Really?
But it's because my door doesn't lock there, and my bed there is not that comfortable.
Yeah.
But here, I could sleep in this bed for a couple of years. I grew out my beard.
Would your parents give you shit if you slept till noon?
Oh yeah.
So you got like a guilt thing if you slept too late there?
Yeah. Yeah, if I wake up and I come down the stairs after 10:30, they're like, "Oh,
I thought you died out there." Yeah, my parents get up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. So they're like, anything past 8, they're like, so are you gonna eat breakfast today, or are you just gonna sit?
My dad would be like, you want breakfast or lunch?
Both.
Yeah, dude.
But that's also, I feel it's a lot easier to say from that end where they're in a daily schedule. Like my parents have a very strict schedule of work and stuff, so it's like for me, I kind of just do whatever works.
Yeah, Mom, Dad, sorry for hating on you.
Yeah, well, I say mine. Well, I got 2 different things. If I'm sleeping by myself, then I like to get about 9. But I'd probably be better off with I think 8. Because the days I sleep in till like 1 or 2, it's just not. It's just not 3, 4. I can do. I mean, I could stay in bed. I could sleep for like 16 hours. I could be like a cat, or a dog. I'm in the wrong body.
Or a tiger.
Or like a grizzly bear, dude. Like 6 months, I'm out.
Yeah, I could live that lifestyle.
You know that when animals hibernate, they aren't like sleeping the whole time.
Well, they're in their holes. I don't know, man. I always thought they were sleeping.
Yeah, I saw this on a TikTok. I was like, we got taught when we were kids that animals dig a hole and they sleep for a month, like 6 months. They're not asleep. Their body's in like a low energy burning state, but it's like they're not.
It's not like
dead. They're not like conked the whole time. They're like, oh, what year is it? Like,
the public school system failed us.
Yeah.
On a lot of things, and that's a different podcast. We're gonna say that.
Come back next time.
Yeah,
But I would say 8 to 9 is probably when I'm like, oh shit, like I'm feeling good. But then if I'm sleeping with a bird, then like
a canary,
like just like a nice little side piece or something like that you meet up with. I'd say 4 or 5 hours is all I need.
is that the
Because
term?
then you're calling the Uber at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
gotta get out. I mean, I'll wake up at 7. I've never seen myself get up faster. I'm just like, I gotta get out of here, man.
And lots of times you're still stumbling. Likely, if you're anything.
I'm
like
very
me.
you just don't even know your left from your right.
I'm gonna have to start using that term bird, but I kind of want to switch it to canary. That'd be dope.
Oh, canary.
Yeah, man. That brings me to the next topic. When do you tell a girl that you love her?
I think we need to solely resort to our expert, one and only Brandon Heckmer.
Well, there's
How many girls have you loved?
Truly?
How many has he met?
How many girls have I told I love them, or how many times have I meant it? Is
Both.
two. I would say meant it is could be never, could be 2, could be 5. Depends on
20. I don't know.
Depends on the day and how many Kush lights are in my system. Girls I've told I loved them, hundreds. hundreds. But the window of telling a girl you love her is very crucial. You got to do it within 72 hours. I like the first 2 hours of meeting her. Sometimes the first 2 minutes.
Who is at the door?
What the hell?
I love you.
Sometimes 30 seconds. It's too late.
Hold up. Okay. I am her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Someone dropped this off outside of her door last night, and I think it might be for one of you guys.
No, dude. We thought the same for you.
Because somebody rang our doorbell and we
Wait.
Somebody like DoorDash or whatever that shit is, like they sent it, they rang our doorbell, left it right there, and I was like, anybody order this? And I was like, nope, probably them. And I sat it there.
I didn't want to be the one to like, I think this is for one of you guys.
Sure.
No.
Yeah, not
you
us.
guys want them?
It's got the receipt in there. Like somebody got
It's a good deal. Funyuns and some Magnums. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
No, it's
I thought it was one of my buddies at first, and I asked the only buddy that I was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
funny shit. We'll have a fun time, and there you go.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, that's a great idea, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Well, we were thinking it was a prank on us too.
They rang on our doorbell, we opened it, saw it, we were like, that's not ours. And then we had no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So enjoy the fun.
I mean,
Yeah, take it easy,
No
man.
problem.
That's funny.
What?
Dude, we had to.
Who the hell got that sent to their
If
door?
you're watching this and you put Funyuns and Magnum condoms at our door, good idea.
Dude, that's funny.
When to tell a girl
You
you
were on your
love,
spiel.
love her. Yeah, no, I think the first 72 hours, because if you go past 72 hours without, like, I really like 48, but you could stretch it out to 72, that's like your top end range. Because then it's just weird. Like, if you go with a week and then you just drop, I love you, they're going to be like, this guy's psycho. But if you do it within the first moment or within the next day or two and just go, I love you, it's fine. And it could just reel her in the boat. It just could snag her
I
up.
think there's a pretty high chance it does the opposite.
Yeah,
I think
well,
you gotta know your girl though.
I think, like, what's the ratio of has worked versus hasn't worked?
I mean, there's been some hits and misses. I mean, we don't keep track of that. You just keep swinging. It's baseball. They're gonna keep if they're gonna keep throwing it down the middle. I'm gonna swing every time.
If you never hit it.
I hit it.
Oh, wait, all right, okay, you hit it.
I hit it, but I don't have an accurate, like, I'm not going to lie and say it's like, 50-50. It's probably a little bit under, but it's between, it's above 0. So, you're batting 25 to 50.
Okay, why do you tell a girl you love her?
Why not?
There you go.
Boom.
So it doesn't mean anything.
Problem solved.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty
You guys
easy
are
one.
dating girls. How long did it take you guys to say it?
Longer than 72 hours?
Yeah,
Without
I was
doubt.
over the 72-hour threshold.
I have to think. I started talking to Jess in the summer.
It would have been right about 3 months, I think.
And
2 or 3 months.
I think mine was longer. We talked for... Wait, are you talking about since the time that you met her or started dating?
Started dating.
How long did you talk before you dated?
Well, not long. It was like, we talked for maybe a month and a half before we started dating. And then it was like 3 months after that.
Bro, I can't even recall. I think we talked for like 2 or 3 months. Well, we started talking in the summer, so it was weird. And then we talked the whole beginning of the year until we started dating, which was, I think, probably like a month and a half or 2 or something. And then I don't think I told her I loved her until probably like 3 or 4 months that we're into dating or longer. I don't know.
The only reason I can remember is because I know our anniversary, and then I know when I said it was right before we left for summer break. And so that would have been right at 3 months.
How does it come up? Because I don't think I've ever told a girl I love her in person, because for me, I need a while to think.
I don't think.
Don't think.
I need to go look at a calendar, man.
Because, like, do you
There's
say,
no,
like...
there's no, like, rhyme or reason to it. It's like, you just gotta, like, if you don't, you gotta feel like you want to say it. And if you don't feel that way, then you probably don't feel it. Like, you have to want to say it. Like, it felt like the right time for me because we were getting ready to not see each other for a long time. And, like, it was very uncertain, and I felt like I needed to say it, and so I did. It's like I felt like that she needed to know that.
Okay, I need to update my time scale because it was horribly off. I started talking to Jess I met her July, started talking in August when school started, talked all the way until Thanksgiving, which is 3 months, and then we started dating. We were not dating for 3 months, and then I don't think that I told her I loved her until summer. So that was like 6 months after that.
Okay, that's more my speed, I think.
Yeah.
Right around 6 months, I started thinking about it.
So it was almost
then I give
9
it
months
another
that I'd
couple
been
of
talking to her every single day.
Dude. I think that's fair. I mean, but every person's different.
I mean,
every
that's-
situation is different.
There's no like right way or wrong way to do it.
I
It's just
I see it as a commitment step that you do not want to tease somebody with unless you really want to be there for them. Because if you're going to say that and then make them believe it and then decide very soon after that you don't mean it or that you don't want to be there anymore, you just, like, you've teased so much of what, like, I mean, that now they have to be like, oh, did they ever love me? It's like, I really loved you, now you want to go. It's like, what? I mean...
And I'm going to start crying at this point. Because we're getting deep, baby.
Yeah, and that's why I think it should take 6 or 9 months. Or like, what? I don't know.
I think it's when you look at someone and you say, kind of, I don't know, for me to say, if you're not in my life, it's different. That's where I'm kind of like, I think I might love her. If I'm actually going to mean it. So that's why I would be like, all right, if my life without you is just going to, and I'm going to think about you all the time, and I want to do things with you, and you're on my mind 24/7, then I love her. I mean, that's about it. But do I need to tell her? I don't. Maybe.
I think
not.
you gotta actually see a future with with that person to say it. Otherwise, you could say anybody. It's like, if you're gonna date somebody for a few months and that's it, don't waste your time telling them that you love them. It didn't make a difference, you know.
Yeah, I think like trying to confine it to a specific like timeline or a specific situation is naive in a sense. Like you're gonna know when you want to say it. Like you're gonna feel like it's the only proper way to respond to the situation that you're in.
Yeah. When the first time I know the first time I told Jess, she was visiting in Hannibal for the first time, and it was like 4th of July weekend or something, and she had just met my whole dad's side of the family. So like my brothers and my dad and like all of their families and kids. And I had such a great day because she was getting along so well with everybody. And she was like playing with the kids she had never met before. She was knowing everyone's names. It was like everybody liked her and was telling me. And then it was later that night, which is like, she stayed in my room with me, which was the first time like I'd ever had a girl stay in my room at my mom's. So it was like super weird. And I felt like if I didn't tell her then, I was like, I needed her to know because I knew it was true at that moment. And if I didn't tell her, I would have been like lying. I'd been like, I will not be able to explain the way that I act around you any longer if you don't know that I'm in love with you. Like, I had to have her know that. Otherwise, it was going to be weird what the fuck I was acting and doing around her. Because it's like, you gotta know I'm serious. Otherwise, you're going to be like suspicious or something.
Sus.
Yeah.
Sus, no doubt.
So have you told a girl you loved her, Webb, or?
Over text, for sure. In person, I don't think so. not one that I can remember. Maybe, no, I don't think so. I don't date long term, or I haven't yet. Because usually things come to an end relatively early. Like,
at this point in life, it's like hard for something to last, I feel like.
yeah.
And I think it's like there's going back to social media. It's like I think there's a big pressure like kind of on this like time in your life to like now you're getting through college. Now it's like where's your girlfriend? You know, like where's your girlfriend?
Yeah.
When you come back home,
People are getting
do you have a
married.
girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? It's like no. Well, then it's like well now you don't. Now it's like hey, you're 25. Do you have a girlfriend? People start getting weird. It's like dude, you're 25. It's like you can go all the way to 40. Some people. It's like,
Right.
but it's so now it's. I feel like it's such a not just like makes like a social status of it, but it's like if you don't, then you're kind of put in another group where people are going to look at you different and be like, not what's wrong or what's good, but kind of like what are you doing?
Right.
So which I think is just completely stupid. That you know you got to do your thing, and then someone your partner should be a piece to the puzzle. It's not you trying to going out and search that piece. It will come to you and it will fit in. You don't have to carve out to make it fit. Like it should be someone that builds you up, and it's so natural that's I think, and those are the best relationships.
I think that's a good way
I think
to find,
that really work out.
good way to find something that lasts. Is something that's not a lot of effort.
No
Right.
doubt. Right now, I think, I mean, I'm like scanning, but I'm not like, I don't have my binoculars look like searching, you know? I'm more like scanning, not searching, because I have so many things that I want to do. I just like a couple of weeks ago decided that I'm changing my career path.
Right.
If I had a long-term girlfriend, that would play into my decision. I'd rather be free and make my own decisions.
You'd be
you know?
stressing them out too,
Yeah.
bro. They'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing right now,
Yeah,
bro?"
dude. I write all my stuff down. They walk in my room. They see my planner. They can't read it, and they leave.
Wait, did I say something to you about that? Jess is like hyper organized, and like maybe not to your degree, but like where she had a tight schedule. It was like things on the hour, and then I was like, "Oh, you like keep a planner?" And it's like, I just gotta be in class at like 8.
And I'm not even sure about that.
I'm not sure what room it's in yet.
I won't know what day my test is that week, but Renata has her next like 3 weeks planned out by the minute, and I'm like, she's like, "How do you not know when these things are?" I was like, "Cause is it today?" No.
Yeah.
Then
It's like
do I
type
need
A
to know
personality
today?
versus
No, I don't need
type
to
B.
know today. I don't need to know today. It's not today. I don't need to know today.
Okay, so weather's starting to heat up, and for me personally, when it's like dark all the time and cold as shit, my like mental, I guess, wellness kind of starts to decline a little bit. And I think this year, part of the reason I felt that way is because I wasn't doing something that I wanted to do in terms of the master's program. But what do you, like? Do you guys experience downtime in the winter? Like, do you feel yourself getting happier in the summer?
Yeah, I think it's so much. Even when you look at it, vitamin D just from the sun plays in. You know more science about, but that goes into. I've done something with those good feelings. What is that? Endorphins.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's a major part. Is you just physiologically, is that the word? You're gonna feel a little bit down, you know, and it's a normal thing. But I know I personally just like, cause who doesn't want to just have the sun just beating down on you, and you got your shorts on, you're running around, you're hanging out outside, playing golf, you know, with the boys. It's like, God, that's so much better than just sitting in here and you got snow piled up to your knees and ice. I mean, that doesn't sound fun to, I don't think, anybody.
Yeah,
maybe someone
think
like out there.
To me, it makes sense in the sense that you go from summer in being able to do whatever you want and leaving the house constantly to do this, that, and the other, going to play golf, going to the lake, just doing stuff outside. You're moving your body. You're not trapped in the same space. Mm-hmm. And then you go to winter, and when you have snow outside and it's freezing cold, you can't play golf. You can't go to the lake. You can't really travel anywhere because sometimes the roads are bad. So, but for me, I like the winter and the cold because it's when I usually go deer hunting. I mean, I haven't done it recently, but I look forward to that time of the year because I still have something to get out and do. Mm-hmm. Even though I haven't done it, like, I get invested in, like, hunting stuff. Like, I'll watch videos and, like, I keep up with people who are going out hunting and, like, so that gets me excited because I have an activity that I look forward to in that time. But, like, if I wouldn't have something, I mean, yeah, of course, you being locked up in one space for 3 or 4 months with nothing to do, yeah, it's going to get you a little bit.
I'll go against the grain a little bit and say I don't think I get bothered by that as much. Like, quarantine kind of showed me I might be okay with being more introverted than I thought that I was. Like, and I still don't think I am introverted, but, like, staying inside doesn't bother me as much, I guess. I kind of get, and I think it's actually kind of toxic because if I keep doing it a lot, my productivity goes down. I start being sloppy and lazy and just, like, stop taking care of myself. So maybe that's, like, a guilty pleasure is doing nothing. I'm guilty of that. But then, like, today I was out on the soccer field and, like, God, it was sunny. So it's like, whatever it is, I think I find a way to be optimistic about it. Because, like, now I can walk outside and go. I feel more motivated to go outside and go to the store if I need to, get my hair cut if I need to, or go to the gym because I don't have to worry about getting my feet wet, putting on a bunch of clothes just to go outside. Like, the ease of access of doing things now, I think, is beneficial for my mental health.
Yeah, it does make
sense. And
sense.
I think that you had a really good point. Finding something, it's a lot easier to find shit to do in the summertime or when it's warmer. But having something in the winter to do that kind of gets you out of the house and that you can do and get out and about, I think is really good to find. Because just sitting, you're not gonna be, or personally, I guess personally, I know I don't do as well when I'm just locked in. I don't do that well. So I think that's a good thing to find, which goes into fitness and training and start lifting. I mean, that's a good one to do.
And why I need a golf simulator in my house one day.
Or just go down to Tahiti or down to the Turks and Caicos. Hop on the boat,
fly down there,
cross the border, and get after it. That's what you got to do.
That turkey con queso, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think I just feel more relaxed when it's warmer. Like, I don't know if there's studies on this or what, but when it's cold, I, like, tense up to try and stay warm. Like, I'm flexing the whole time and, like, trying to get blood pumping. And I don't know if that makes me nervous or what. But I don't know. That's just me rambling. I don't know. There's probably no studies on that. It's probably not real.
I'm interested to see what you look like in the mornings when I walk by you now. Because it seems like the winter, you're always right here, 7:30, coffee, YouTube, hood, and you look fucking pissed.
Yeah. And I was fucking pissed.
And I'm wondering now if it's going to be nice out and you're just going to be maxing, good morning, Ben, and
just a spread eagle, just hanging out. Oh, yeah.
Dude. I will. Baseball will be on. Spring training started the other day, and I was up at the crack of noon with some coffee, had the game on.
Yeah.
It was nice.
So I think there's a big thing to be said about like being aware of your mental health like that and knowing what your tendencies are. It's like I've got a family member who has like a pretty consistent seasonal depression. It's like they're gonna be moody for like a certain period of the year, and it's like they always go to Florida for a week, you know, and like get a little bit of time, rejuvenate, relax, and you gotta know your place and how you're feeling, what you're doing, and how you can cope with it. And
I'm no doubt going to be a snowbird when I have the chance. That or just a full-time Southerner.
yeah,
Y'all.
Yeah, I think I gotta get down to the South, man. I like the one. I think Florida. You get the hurricanes though.
Yeah.
Arizona, you get the super dry heat.
the wasps that are this big.
Yeah, and scorpions. There's not enough data on those. Those things are deadly.
Not enough data.
They're just.
I bet there's a lot of data on that, actually.
Yeah,
I think most scorpions don't kill you.
I don't know. They look mean, man. Mean and just they want all the smoke.
Would you say that most spiders don't kill you?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's only two
There's
in
only
North America
two,
that'll
yeah.
kill you.
But all scorpions are poisonous, I'm pretty sure.
So are spiders.
All of them?
Yes,
No.
every spider is poisonous.
No. Mr.
I don't know that everyone
Google it.
is.
What
Every
about a
spider
wolf
has venom. That's how they kill their prey.
Wolf spider, I'm pretty sure just brute strength, and just rock burritos.
But I think Tennessee, Nashville. I think that
All spiders
that'd be a cool
venomous.
city.
No.
It's just
Only 2 families lack venom glands. They
Which
all
one are
use. I don't know.
Tell me wolf spider, because that if it's not, it's a myth that I've been told.
They use venom to
But
paralyze
it's
their
also
prey.
it's either is it not venomous to us or it's not potent enough.
Right, it's in such small quantities.
Well,
that it
you
can't
know,
affect us.
the daddy longleg is like one of the most venomous or poisonous spiders that out there.
But it has such a small amount that it delivers that it can't.
Just that.
I can't bite you.
Well, maybe someone in the comments can help us out. Here.
Drop a comment below. What spiders do you like?
I had a pet tarantula.
Ugh, no. Some kid brought one in elementary school, and it was just crawling on the glass. It was just, there was no environment. It was just in a box.
Mine was in sand.
Pre-COVID days there.
There you go.
Mine was in sand, and I had a little log that I could go inside, and that was it. And a water bowl dish.
Wait. Sand?
He was treated well.
So wait, are tarantulas like desert bugs?
They're jungle, I think. I don't know. I was not taking good care of this pet, but it was like 8 years old when I got it, and it lived like 4 more years.
Oh my.
It
I
was
thought spiders died like after a year.
It was a rose. It was probably that big. It was like a rose hair tarantula, and I never really touched it other than a couple times I like touched his
One of
back.
those.
started grabbing at you.
No, but
Get the
it would molt and leave like a duplicate of itself upside down on the floor, and like it was its skin. And then my mom took it into her classroom, and it was their pet.
She ate it.
No, it died there.
Because she ate it though.
Yeah. Dipped it in chocolate.
Honestly, I was thinking tarantulas were like this big.
Different kinds. Yeah. The
I don't think they're quite that big. I think they're for sure like this big though.
The red knee tarantulas are like pretty big. I don't know, bro. There's a Goliath bird-eating tarantula in Brazil.
Yeah,
they're
how big is that?
Like dinner plate.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, they're big.
So they actually are like that.
They're
No,
like,
maybe not
they're
like
like
that.
this.
This is about maybe like that.
I would say dinner plate is like this. I don't know. Like if
Aren't camel spiders that big too?
I don't know.
Camel spiders.
You ever seen the picture of the soldiers holding one camel spider? It's eating another camel spider, and it's like at their torso and hitting the ground.
I don't know if those.
This makes my fucking skin crawl, bro.
Yeah, show us. Dude, we need to start hooking phones up here and doing that.
Oh,
You're a primal person.
you see that? Money?
Yeah, I'm not about
Dude,
it.
wait, what are, below that? Are those real photos?
I think so.
Dude. Oh.
Imagine the
You
juice
got- hey,
when you stomp that.
Send
Yeah, no.
me
Not
those
the
so I can
juice
put them
I'm
up
looking
there,
for.
in the
He
edit.
said, "Oh,
That's
send
just
me
not a
some
box I want to get into.
Yeah, you don't touch that box. No matter if it's
not that
shut
box.
or open. Okay. Couple more things I want to cover. Recently on Netflix, I've been watching this show called Hangar 1.
What?
And it's about aliens. And it's this company called MUFON. It's a mutual UFO network. And they do investigations on, like, UFO crashes that were covered up and, like, secret government programs, conspiracies, kind of.
Conspiracies, yeah.
They have some evidence, fellas, and I'm saying aliens are real, and here's why. One, black triangles. They're out there.
No, that's it.
You're convinced too. Black triangles they have a reputation of being UFOs. Like, people see huge black triangles in the sky. And I'm going to tell you a story right now, and it's going to get a little weird. So, don't know what year it is, which is strange, right? I can't remember exactly what year it is. But I'm at my house in Darting Prairie, Missouri, with my mom in the kitchen. She's making dinner. It's like maybe 4:30 or 5. Like, daylight, overcast weather. And you know how, like, when planes go over, if they're big planes and they're low, the ground kind of rumbles? Multiply that by, like, 3 or 4, and it's like a low rumble, so I can hear it and feel it. And I'm like, Mom, do you hear that? She said, yeah. I said, okay, I'm going to go look outside. She said, okay. She kept making dinner. I go outside on my deck, and I look up, and I swear to you, I saw the biggest triangle I have ever seen. And it's in the sky. It has lights on the corner that are, like, brightish. And then the part that I can't remember is what the middle of it looked like. But I know for sure that I saw, like, it had a red and a green light like a plane does that I saw, like little ones flashing. Other than that, I don't know about any other lights. But it seemed like it was very low and very big. And that is very similar to other stories that I've heard, such as the stories on Hangar 1 on Netflix and also the internet. Joe Rogan has a couple people on that talk about it. And I know you guys are skeptical. So what do you think about aliens?
My whole logic is it's the same theory same principle I have around ghosts and, like, that sort of paranormal activity as well. I have the position that I have not ever seen anything that has convinced me in the existence of either one. But I've never seen anything that can completely dismiss their existence. So I live my life by, I don't live in fear of them or live really in the knowledge that they are there or in the acknowledgement that they are there or that they do exist, because I've never had a convincing experience. And I feel like, and this is just the way that my brain works, wrapping my head around this stuff, once people open their minds to that possibility, they start to see more and more and experience more and more. Mm-hmm. Whereas myself, I'm able to identify a logic explanation for each instance that I find myself in. And so, like, whenever I see something that happens that's a little odd, I always just brush it off. And, I mean, maybe that is why I don't believe in it, because I have seen it, but I just brush it off. But to me, I've never been in a situation where I've had a paranormal experience or been convinced of aliens or ghosts.
You just need a big, fat, black triangle to go over your head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that would convince me. But, like, in that instance, I think, like, if that were true, you said, if I remember correctly, you said it took up, like, the entire span of your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just feel like if that were really what happened, people would have had evidence, or more people would have, like, gone to the news or, like, made a bigger deal out of it than just, like, it existing and then not existing.
Me too. And what's weird is that I didn't, like, file a report or anything. I just said, I don't even know if I told my mom. I just had this memory, and I guess it very well could have been a dream that I'm remembering, because I don't know what year it was, when it was, how old I was. But also at the same time,
feels real.
They MUFON, they call these things, it's like it's a hot spot or something. But, like, when a bunch of reports of some UFO is sighted and, like, they call it in, I can't remember the name for that exact thing. But if a bunch of people call something in, like none of it has ever been released as that was a UFO. You know, like
Right.
there's been no stories like for sure that was an unidentified flying object. They've all been like covered up for some reason.
Like, to me, it just is like, it gets to the point where, to me, it's like almost on the same level of Bigfoot. I think aliens are far more likely than a Bigfoot, but I think like people talk about seeing Bigfoot all the time and that they swear that it has existed, yet we've never been able to find like true evidence for it. And I think that there's a lot of stuff out there that people use as evidence for UFOs, but I feel like, I don't know.
Have you seen those Tic Tac videos that David Fravor was there for?
Yes, I've seen.
What do you think about that? How is that not evidence?
I mean, until we can confirm it, I don't live my life as it for it to be as a reality.
The Pentagon
Like-
said they were otherworldly.
I believe that, but like, I believe that they are interpreting the data that way. But until they can show me like this is the video of this thing happening, this is like until they can present to me the full argument as opposed to like we think we may have seen something that we didn't understand, then I'll start to believe it. But you're trying to introduce a fringe like reality almost and like ideas into a society that like they don't have any idea what it is or what they're talking about or like what like or how to piece it all together, which I would agree that we would have no way of understanding. But until we get more than we think we saw this on radar once, then I can't fully back my support of it.
See, so my thought on it is just based on, I think aliens, if that's what we're going to call other living creatures besides humans with the brain and shit, I think they do exist just based on the fact that the galaxy is so big. So when you would zoom out, like you see like the piece of grass, right? And then you zoom out and you see how little, and then someone's standing, and then you go to the sky, and the building's just so little, and the earth, and you keep going. We are just like a nano of a nano of a nano in just this big of space and galaxies. So to think that we're the only creatures or whatever we want to think about it, in my mind, is kind of like that would probably be pretty bold to say that we're the only living species in the universe. Yeah, I mean, so that's where I wrap my head. I'm like, there has to be something else out there, whether it's alien or something that, like, there has to be some. So that's all I think. I haven't had an encounter with it, but there has to be something. So, and I don't think the government would spend money and put resources into exploration and do stuff if they didn't have some, even just the tiniest idea. Why would you waste money on something that's useless? So I think there probably is something out there, but like Jared said, I'm not scared of it. If they come up here and blow up the earth, they blow up the earth. Okay, see ya. But if that day comes, it comes. But
I think I agree. Like the existence of other life forms out there is extremely probable. Like I don't say that there's no other possibility of anything else living ever out there. I just live my life by the fact that I don't spend much time thinking about it because it's not present in my life. If we had extreme evidence and like constant and frequent and identifiable I don't even know how you say that, but like well documented, well recorded experiences, then I would be a lot more. I would give a lot more of my thoughts to that, but I don't have any need to because I don't feel like I get any benefit out of exploring the potential possibilities and all the stories that people have. No, if it's something you're interested in, I think that's totally different. Like if you like just want to hear what people have to say, that's fine. But to me, I don't take a lot of interest in it, and I don't take a lot of my day thinking about it just because I feel like I gain no utility in it, and I'm really not that interested in it.
what I think was really cool was like watching the old like Egypt documentaries about how the pyramids and all this stuff. It's like, I think that's kind of cool interest. So that's where I kind of started looking at some of it a little bit, like how you build something so perfect with no like just technology or just so behind, and it's just so symmetrical. And I can't really remember all the details of it, but I remember watching that when I was little. I was like, man, I was like, oh shit, I guess there could be something. And then when you look over in Egypt, then they have kind of the same thing going over with the Aztecs, and they had different stuff over there within the mines and the ruins and the paintings. So I do think there has been. It's kind of and nowadays now we get some pictures and different things. So I think there's a constant thing through history that there has been contact, I don't know the word, or people have experiences and have documented it. So until, like kind of Jared says, it smacks us in the face and one comes down and says, here it is, and we can't really refute it, and the government's not going to hide it up and just say, yeah, this is real, then I think you can say it's real. But until then, I think it'll be the same discussion with everybody, if they're real or not. But I think it's a good conversation to have. I don't think it hurts, talking about it. I think I find it pretty interesting. But
so the thing you were talking about with the number of stars out there and and the number of planets and like, oh yeah, it's super likely that there's another planet with life on it. That's called the Fermi paradox, because it's like, yeah, the odds are there's other intelligent life out there, but where is it? It's like, if it's out there, why haven't we contacted it? Why hasn't it contacted us? So it's like, if there's so many places they could be, why has nobody made it here? So like, that's kind of a paradox where it's like both sides seem unlikely. But the other thing is, like, the universe is supposed to be like 14 billion years old. The Earth is like 4 billion years old. Life on Earth has been around for 3 billion years. But humans have only been in their current state for like 150,000 years. So there has to be intelligence. And we've only had rockets for 80, So it's like, there has to be life that's smart enough, close enough, and alive at the same time in history to contact us. Yeah. So it's like, we have this giant universe, and something has to be close and really smart, which might be more unlikely than we think aliens are in general. It's like, maybe they haven't reached our level of intelligence yet. Maybe they're only in their 2 billionth year right now.
But who's to say we're at the top of the intelligence?
No, we're not.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I can say, like, we're behind the bubble. I'd say, if anything, I think we're probably behind. I would say we're probably
behind somebody.
We're behind somebody. Yeah.
But I think, like, time and distance are a big factor.
The nearest star
is a huge.
Because we only know our distance with our sun. I mean, how many suns are...
The next sun is 4.2 light years away, which means it takes light over 4 years to travel to it. I think that...
And that's how we conceive time also. That's a whole different concept.
Light years is a distance, not time.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, years and billions of years. Like, that's our thing, too. So someone else could have a whole different, which... more
if they're
than me.
Like orbiting a black hole or something, especially.
Yeah, that's where I don't know. Never
or
mind.
if they have a different concept of time is what he's trying to say.
Like how we perceive, like, minute, second, and how it all builds. That's what I'm saying. Like a billion. Like, we can't even rationalize a billion.
Because years are different on different planets, right?
Well, you can talk about a planet that has a life.
Yeah, because when you go into space and come back, people are older or younger. Like, in that.
That's just if you travel fast enough.
That has to do with the relativity and, like, gravity, but
that's an interesting thing too.
Yeah.
You could have an alien that maybe their lifetime is 1,000 years. So it's like, to them, time may not mean the same thing that it does to us, because we only have 100 years or something max.
I wonder if they get bored.
Maybe, dude. And then they could have they might not have. There was a Vsauce about this we were watching the other day. It's like, they may have entirely different senses. Like, we evolved to have smell, taste, vision, touch, and hearing. They might have some sense we can't even imagine that allows them to sense their surroundings and interact with it.
Like, we're interpreting aliens as even some
humanoid,
even somewhat compatible life form where our understanding.
Bats have echolocation. They have a sense that we do not have. They're basically blind. they have hearing, but it's on such another level that it's like their way of seeing. They imagine their environment based on their sound.
Do they imagine pictures of it though? Is that how it works?
I don't know.
Or do they just like
it all happens in their
navigate with their
brain,
ears?
so it's like
But,
no,
like-
they don't see it with their eyes, but it happens in their head.
But
Our
if-
vision is developed in our brain. It's just light hitting the cones and the rods in our eyes, and it makes a picture for us to interact with.
Yeah, but then you feel it, and it's the same as what you see.
Right, which is how we confirm it. But like,
So for them, they like if you tap on stuff around the room, I can tell you what direction it's coming from, unless you're in a dome. So then, if you just got really good at that, you could also echolocate in theory.
I don't think our hearing will ever be good enough to do that.
Our
We can't
our-
tell that there's
we
a thing
can't-
obstructing it.
we can't produce
Right.
a good enough sound either, because the like bats' echolocation is so precise that they're able to bounce the sound back off. When I'm speaking in this room, my voice is
Echoing
projecting
everywhere.
off of all of these walls. And so I can maybe tell where the source is, but that's not what bats are doing. They're using it to go to a point and then come back to
So it's a
them.
sensitivity. It's a sensitivity thing. They can make a frequency that then they can interpret. They have such precise. Like our sight is the sense we use. If you were going to keep one of them and try to live, you probably want your sight, because you can see a bus coming. You can tell the color of the food. You can do all these things. But a bat, its primary source of information about its surroundings is its hearing, and it's so keen and like attuned to hearing that it develops its reality based on
It's
it.
kind of strange because sight is light bouncing off of objects and going into our rods and cones,
And there's a
sound.
So imagine there's something that uses feel, and maybe it steps and then it feels vibrations and it tells where it's going based on that.
I'm pretty sure some sort of bugs do that.
Maybe.
Like the ones that build holes, like the spiders that build holes,
Oh,
the
yeah.
trapdoor spiders, they feel the vibrations and maybe they can see. They probably can. They got
Spiders
100
have great
They
vision.
have 8 eyes. They might as well see, but they feel the vibration and go get it.
Things in the water might use taste as their primary source of like things without good brains that just like maybe taste when food comes near or something. I don't know actually. That I just
Like Japanese beetles.
kind of threw that out my ass.
Would you say you tossed that ass back?
No, I tossed it ahead to your. Now you can just bounce it back.
Yeah,
Tell
we
me
call
what my
that ass location. We call that ass location. Okay, last thing, spring break's coming up for us. We got an early one here at Truman. It's not my spring break because I'm not in school, but what do you guys have planned?
Oh, my plan is just to be a degenerate and go to the casino, gamble responsibly, and see my buddy down in Indiana and go with a couple friends down there, and then head out to Vegas and try to come back with at least some
At
shirts
least $1
and
million.
pants and hopefully shoes. Hopefully shoes. If I come back without shoes, I wouldn't be too upset, but as long as I have pants, I'd be pretty happy.
So you're going to Indiana first and then Vegas?
Yeah, Indiana and then Vegas. So
Is it the same crew going both places?
Well, as of right now, it could be me and one of my friends, or just me and my dad.
Oh,
So
nice.
that would be pretty nice. Kent's just really been wanting to get out to Vegas.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I feel like
loved
he's
it.
gonna thrive there. Has he been before?
Yeah, I think back. Well, my uncle lived in Vegas for 20 years, I think. So I think you would go out there and see him time to time. So yeah, I think it's been a while since the '80s. So things have changed a little bit.
Yeah, but
So-
the 80s were fun.
Yeah, I know, and I've never been, so I think it'd be fun. You got to do it. So
Yeah, I think it'd be sweet to go see the Raiders' new stadium.
I know it's kind of sucks because there's not like if there was like the NCAA tournament, I'm sure there'd be something, not tournament, but like conference game like UNLV or somewhere. I figured would be going on, but you can't see that. The shows I think are canceled out there.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, the
Like
I
the
mean,
strip clubs?
huh?
The shows.
The shows? No, I think some shows are still going on. I'll find those.
If you're looking for like a game, you might want to check to see if the Golden Knights are playing.
Yeah, I didn't know if the hockey thing, if they were going on or.
Some teams are letting crowds in, but I don't know if they are.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think after this vaccine, everything's gonna open up. But
Yeah.
no, super excited to go do that. So hopefully, come back with a profit.
Yeah. And if not, you say, oh well, went to Vegas.
Oh well, went to Vegas, exactly. Check it off.
I am driving to Michigan. It's like a 10-hour drive, and then to see my girlfriend, and then after that I'm driving to Ohio to see my buddy from high school, Tucker, and then we're gonna play golf there for a little bit, and then I'm gonna drive back on probably Tuesday. Benefit of online classes.
Oh, the Tuesday back in school. Nice.
We have to quarantine after we come back.
Yeah, you gotta start your quarantine now so you can get back to class on
And it'd
time.
be done on time.
Yeah. So then have fun on your trip. We'll see you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out to Salt Lake City, hang out with our old roommate Grant.
Shred some pie.
Hopefully there's some gnar left to be shred. And then hopefully gonna make it to the Arches National Park where there's that stone archway. Apparently there's a bunch more there, and do a little bit of hiking maybe. It's gonna be like 65, so it should be really nice.
Gonna do a little base jumping off the arches.
Yeah, and free climbing or free soloing, is that what that's called? And I don't know. Hopefully we can ski, man. I feel like if it's 60, they can't have snow there, even if it's artificial. It's all gonna melt, right?
I would think most of the slopes are up in the mountains, right? Where it would be colder for longer.
I don't know. I guess hopefully they have like a foot of it on the ground and it's just slowly dwindling or something.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. You might want to talk to Grant about that.
I don't know anything about skiing, so.
Would you just rent your equipment, or do you have to bring stuff, or what?
I'm bringing some waterproof pants and a coat, and
But you
I
rent
got some long
skis
underwear and
and
stuff like that.
But
But
you rent
yeah,
you the rest.
your boots lock into the ski or to the skis or the board, and then I'll get hopefully a helmet to borrow. Otherwise, he said I'd have to buy one, which I'm not doing, so I might be concussed.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Hopefully the snow is soft, because last time that I went it was really icy and it's very hard. So like when you're snowboarding, you're not like going straight most of the time. You're going like diagonally, and so like this is the slope. Your board, you're constantly like skidding down it sideways, and you're like going that way, and then you're going that way, and you're going that. So if you're going down the hill and your board dips down that way and you get a bite of snow, you just go head first downhill.
You catch an edge.
And that hurts. So if I don't have a helmet, that could be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think I'd fare well on the slopes.
Skis, I think, are easier.
Everybody says skis are way easier,
Snowboarding's a lot of fun, though.
but snowboarding looks way cooler.
And I was good enough when I first started that I was like, yeah, I'm going to stick with it. I didn't even want to change.
You know, as a kid, they called me Sean White. I was so good at snowboarding.
Just
then
bombing it down hills and stuff.
I was just tossing it down the hills, but then I grew up, and you look at the hill, and it's like,
That could hurt.
no, it's like a 10-foot hill.
Oh. So those guys calling me Sean White.
Yeah,
Call
I
me
used
Shaun
to
White.
do the little snowboards on the sledding hill. You feel pretty badass, but then you get to the slopes and you say, this is not the same.
Bro, that shit gets steep, and you start looking at it, and you feel a sense of threat where you're like, I need to go very slow or I will be hurt, because it's dangerous to look at sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, so now they call me Sean. Yeah, right. But how many days are you going to be there?
Only 3 full days.
So then are you going back home or coming here?
I'll probably come here and then go home from here.
Okay.
Wait, no.
But you're going back home.
I'm gonna drive to. So my mom is gonna drive me to the airport, so I don't have to pay $50 or whatever to have my car parked over the days. So I'm gonna drive to Hannibal, ride with Regina to the airport, and then I think she'll be able to grab me on the day I get back, and then probably take me back to Hannibal. So I imagine I'll stay at Hannibal the rest of that week.
Dope.
Your plans.
I got an interview on Friday, so hopefully by the time people are watching this, I'll have a job lined up in St. Louis.
Sweet.
But I will, after my interview in St. Louis, I'll come back here Friday night. Got to work at Coors Friday or Saturday morning, then the bar Saturday night, and then I work Monday through Wednesday at the bar.
It's your first week of working, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't have a key yet, so I gotta get that. I don't know if they're gonna give it to me Saturday or what, because I can't imagine we're gonna be busy Saturday, unless all the townies come out. But
Doubt it.
No, I bet that some people will probably come back from.
I bet there's people that won't have left for spring break yet, though.
And I bet guarantee people come back to town from Kirksville.
Oh, are
Come
you talking
back.
about the Saturday before spring break or after?
like this coming Saturday before.
Yeah. So it probably won't be busy then, I bet.
Yeah, I
I
don't
bet the one
know.
after will be.
We'll see. But that's really all the plans I got. I'll probably, after I'm done working, I'll probably go home just to hang out with my family for a little bit longer. And depending on how the interview goes, I guess I may go back and start working. But we'll see.
You don't think you'd be here for the rest of the semester?
If they offer me a job, I'm going back and starting as soon as they let me. Just so I can start making money. And then I'll just come back up here on my days off and hang out.
You gotta come back at least once every other week if you get a job.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying rent, man.
I know. Well, if I do start working, I'm planning on coming up like almost every week is the plan.
Really? That's a long drive for you.
Kinda.
Missouri is really trying to throw this right
I
now.
know, man.
They were up by like 10 at one point.
I know, man.
Missouri basketball sucks.
They're awful.
They've been
Join us
sucking.
next time to talk about it.
Yeah, I think it was a good first joint podcast.
I think it was good.
No joints
No
involved.
joints. Tino.
That's episode 3.
Yeah, we're going to
That's
Colorado.
episode 800 when weed's legalized in Missouri.
I like the confidence you have in the 800 episodes. We'll see how that goes. I feel like life might grab us by the horns.
By then.
Stay tasty, my friends.
Yep. We'll see you next time. That was good, boys.
It was just like a normal night of conversation.
No!
I'm putting that in the whole video.